Okay, today we're going to start to cover a very large topic area, which is airports and field operations. I will probably split this lecture up into multiple parts just because to break it down to manageable portions. So, what types of airports are there? There are two types, towered and non-towered. And these can be further subdivided into civil airports. Those are the airports that are open to the general public, Raleigh, Chicago, et cetera, et cetera. Then there are military and federal government airports, and those are airports operated by the military or NASA or any other agency of the federal government. And then there are private airports, airports that are designated for private or restricted use only, not open to the general public. ATC, Air Traffic Control, and the National Airspace System. The primary purpose of the ATC system is to prevent a collision between aircraft operating in the system and also to organize and expedite the flow of air traffic. In addition to its primary function, the ATC system has the capability to provide, under certain limitations, additional services. Where do we get information on airports? Well, the first is aeronautical charts. And probably more useful because they isolate onto a certain airport are chart supplements, which were formerly called airport facility directories. We get notices to air mission NOTAMs. That's typically provided by one of the apps on my phone. And we get ATIS, which is Automatic Terminal Information Service, and that is a broadcast of terminal information provided by some but not all of the airports.
Before you even start the engine, you need to know the airport environment. What is the first place that you're going to look for that information before you depart?
Probably the chart supplement.
What kind of information do we get out of the chart supplement?
Radio frequencies, we get runway information, pattern information, location, airport reference point, time zone, closest city, contact information for the airport manager, what kind of services and fuel are available.
Airport diagram. How long are the chart supplement good for?
56 days.
Aeronautical charts. An aeronautical chart is a roadmap for a pilot. This chart provides information that allows remote pilots to obtain information about the areas where they intend to operate. Two types of aeronautical charts used by VFR pilots, which are visual flight rule pilots, are sectional and VFR terminal area. Sectional charts are these big monster charts that if you were around in the day where we had maps that folded and they were just big. Well, these are 1 inch equals 6.86 nautical miles or approximately 8 statute miles. So the chart provides an abundance of information, including airport data, nav aids, airspace, and topography. NOTAM, Notice to Air Mission, formerly Notice to Airman. One type of notice that you are required to check. TFR are temporary flight restrictions, and both are part of the mandatory pre-flight review. Notices to air missions are time-critical aeronautical information, either temporary in nature or not sufficiently known in advance to permit publication in aeronautical charts or in other publications. Notices to air missions, TFR. may be a temporary flight restriction. GPS may be out. Tower lights may be out. There may be birds on the runway. So it is critical information publicized to allow the safe operation. Notices to air missions, the sources, you can get it if you get a weather brief. You have drone planning apps, and you can also get it off the internet. Why issue a TFR? Well, one, to protect persons and properties in the air or on the surface from an existing or imminent hazard. Provide a safe environment for the operation of disaster release aircrafts. Prevent an unsafe congestion of sightseeing aircraft over an incident or event that might generate a high degree of public interest. Some other reasons are protect declared national disasters for humanitarian reasons in the state of Hawaii, protect the president, vice president, or other public figures while they travel. Provide a safe environment for space agency operations. So a TFR could be issued for one of the launches. Here's just a quick example of a recent TFR, and it is basically saying that you cannot fly over the Super Bowl or even fly very close to the Super Bowl.
What are TFRs, or temporary flight restrictions? Common sense says you cannot fly a drone or an aircraft into that area for whatever specified time. How do you know that they exist? Well, a TFR is a type of, it's called NOTAM. They're issued by the FAA, which is just shorthand for Notice to Airmen, technically drone pilots, drone operators, commercial aircraft, anybody who's flying stuff. So you can look for all NOTAMs on the FAA's website. It will say in the NOTAM, hey, there is a temporary flight restriction around this location. Here's the bounds, like the altitude and the widths, and here's the time. It's active from this time until this time. So you can think about sporting events, but also if a president or vice president is coming and landing at an airport or going to be in a certain area, they'll often issue a NOTAM, a TFR for that area. Another time that they're frequently issued are for wildfires and for like hurricane restoration. I know a lot of public safety personnel get really frustrated, drone pilots who fly around wildfires, and that technically violates a TFR.